Hopefully these power lines and such don't interfere with the audio. And over there is the main freeway. This is what the video is about, the Zeus stunt armor on the Honda Grom. I know this will fit the 125 SF. I know the front will fit. The rear won't fit unless you cut the underneath pieces and so on. One thing, I'm not sponsored by Zeus armor or anything like that, by the way, okay? One thing I do want to point out, if you do buy Zeus armor, prepare to have a wait or have a delay, because when I brought this stunt kit, I paid for it, and the guy says 2 to 3 weeks before it's complete, and then he sends it. Okay, by the 3rd week, he said it's powder coated, everything's done. He sent it. The 4th week, it arrived in about a week in the mail, which is pretty good, right? That's fine. Except, he didn't send me the middle bolt that goes through the subframe here, right? Or through the swing arm. He didn't send that to me. So I said, hey, you didn't send me this kit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, show me receipts. So I showed him receipts. He went ahead and he sent me the replacement bolt. Then again, the replacement bolt that he sent 2 weeks later, because that was a week to argue with him, and then a week, and then the following end of that week he sent it. So 2 weeks after it. So we're now at the 7th week. 7th? Yeah, at the 7th, at the end of the 6 weeks, approaching the 7th week, he sent me this as a replacement, and the bolt was threaded, as in the thing was fucked. So he then said, oh, blah, 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 blah. I said, look, I took it to a machine shop. You sent me a fucked product. So he then sent me another one, which turned out to be right, and it was approaching about the 8.5 week mark. So 2 months after I paid for a product, I'd say, yeah, probably 8 to 9 weeks. I could finally actually install it, and it worked. Except no one told me. See how there's a rod here. This actually goes underneath through up in here, right? No one told me that you can't run a license plate bracket. Yeah, and someone stole my license plate, by the way, assholes. No one told me that you can't run one of these with the Zeus armor kit because it interferes with it, right? So I cut out the middle piece here, which was pretty easy. It took 10 seconds to cut through on a hacksaw. And I also cut out the plate that comes up here because it blocked way too much of the tail light, to be honest. When you're back here, you could see how much it covers way too much. So overall, the build quality and everything like that is awesome. It's really thick, heavy duty, solid stuff. Like 2 blokes could come along and literally just like pick this shit up. Like it's solid stuff, right? It's not going anywhere. Let me go around this side and I'll show you where it bolts to. So under this tape here, you have a bolt that goes through that he supplies. It goes through the little bracket doohickey in here to the other side, and then you got to get two sockets. One you put in here and you tighten up. The other one you put in here and you turn it like this to tighten it. So that's cool. These are already on there. That's fine. This I already just mentioned. It's good quality paint job. It's got a couple of scratches and stuff on it. These came with tape that you put on here for your feet. However, it didn't last that long. It tore off because it got wet. Underside here, if you can see in here, it's got the Zeus armor logo. And if I get underneath, if you can see maybe here, how it mounts here and on the other side as well. And then you've got the wheelie bar on top of it, which is a completely separate item, which mounts to the back. So you've basically got to line everything up, get it all sorted. You've also got to go ahead, if you get the subframe braces, see these bolts here? Come on, bro. See these bolts here? It was a Harley, by the way. Here and here. You actually slide these subframe rods that go all the way in here to strengthen it, to make sure this doesn't go anywhere. They're the rear bolts, and they're the front bolts. You drop the bolts down, you hold it, you lift it up, you install it. It doesn't interfere with anything apart from, as I mentioned here, it gets into all this shit. So I had to cut this, and that you can't really see. Actually, you might be able to see on camera. I cut the other side here because you can't fit a license plate to it. I'm pretty sure they claim you could, and this side bracket thing they gave was like USA spec or some crap. I couldn't figure that out. Maybe I'm just a spastic, but I can rebuild engines, so I'm pretty mechanically competent, whatever the word is. Blech. If you're in Australia, because these bikes just came out, this will fit on the new Grom, except you've got to cut holes through the thing. Good luck trying to figure out your fender eliminator kit and everything like that. Would I buy another Zeus armor stunt kit again? No. No fucking way would I ever buy another Zeus armor stunt kit. Why? Because I'm not the only one who's been fucked over by Zeus, according to some of the videos I've seen online, on forums and such, where they've ordered bits and pieces, stuff hasn't arrived, shit takes like 6 weeks to come. I understand on his website he says 2 to 3 weeks before processing is complete. That's cool. 3 weeks I can understand. But when you have shit go way too out of proportion like mine did, and I'm not the only one, that's when I get frustrated. Tie that in with a price, and overall when you see it in person, yeah, like, it looks nice, don't get me wrong. The white with the red and the gold, it all suits. And it's good shit. Like, what I'm going to show you is how the Zeus armor kit works. When you drop it, it will still hit. Even with this stuff on, your pegs and shit will still hit, and this will still hit and bend. So it's not essentially made to, like, it's made to be fallen on, right? But it's not made great, because when you drop it down, look at that. Now it's on it, okay? So it's on it there. I'm holding it like that. But you can feel it hitting the peg, which isn't a good feeling. You don't want it to fucking bend the shifter anymore. That's the shifter, and that was this. You can get aftermarket rear sets and such. Aftermarket rear sets won't work, I don't think, with this, because if that bolt placement is different, or if it comes out, or if the bolt hole's thin or whatever, it may work, it may not. Look, I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim to be an engineer or anything like that. That's because I laid the bike over. In terms of build quality, is it worth it? Yeah. Oh, stalled it. Build quality, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong about that. The build quality, the weld, and the paint job and everything like that, it's well worth it. Would I really, really, really want to be paying $1,200, $1,300 for this though? Australian, that is. That's something like 900 US. No. I'm surprised there isn't a competitor that's already outsold Zeus armor. I've had this stuff for about 9 months now, so it's not something I've had for a while. You know, it's not like I've had it for a week or two. I don't recommend Zeus armor purely because of the wait time I waited, and I'm not the only person who's had that issue. How can I say this? If Zeus armor would, if I was to sell this, right, and then Zeus armor's like, Pete, we want to send you a kit for free, blah blah blah, I'd be like, okay, you know, we can arrange something with my YouTube channel. Cool, I would do that, but I would still say to people, expect a delay when you buy them. Whether or not that's due to productivity issues or just due to how long it takes for the guy to build them, if he builds them on a demand instead of building them in mass, I don't know. Build quality is like an 8. Don't get me wrong there. The welds are pretty chunky. They're good welds. It's good, thick, high quality material that's used. No bolts were supplied apart from this and what's in here and the nuts. You don't have to, you have to get your own bolts for the underside in here. That's fair enough. That's cool. I'm using a Mad exhaust, even though that's a different product. You can get Zeus armor kits in different colors, but now there's more stunt parts on the market. So it really comes down to what you want. If you want the best of the best, this is apparently the best of the best. This is what all the stunt riders use, that, and nowadays there's these new billet ones that have rotational pieces here. It comes down to the rider. Since I was the first Australian I'm aware of to buy the Zeus armor stunt kit, I don't know what else to say, guys. It's high quality material. This gets in the way with the brake light. If you want to run street rego, that's your choice. I wouldn't buy them again, but if they wanted to send me free stuff, cool, you know, fair enough. That's their choice. I won't do any stunts in this video. I have an independent video directly for that. If you want to see that, you can watch that video here. At the moment, I'm going to ride home, have some pizza. Apparently, cops consider this stunt cage a protruding device because it could technically stab you. Nah. They're just upset. They're just haters, man. Haters gonna hate. Another good thing about this armor is the additional weight actually weighs the bike down a lot, which really helps when you're starting to jump it around. It makes it feel way more planted, especially at the rear, which makes it feel solid. It feels more sturdy when you're ripping wheelies. As I mentioned, I'm not going to rip wheelies in this video purely because I get hassled by the cops. See, you can't do wheelies, blah 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 blah. And too many idiots have been dicking me lately for, oh, this guy does wheelies in his video, and trying to get cops to arrest me and shit, which is just bullshit. It's true, man. It's actually true, and I'm not telling you any lies. But the weight from the Zeus armor kit makes it feel so much more planted on the road. Yeah, I'll show you here. Now it could be because the additional weight, mass, is over the second half of the bike where my weight is, so the extra 5 kilos, whatever that would be, would make that feeling that it's extra heavy, when it's not. It's just the way the bike is now balanced.